What's up, guys? It's y'all boy Andy. I'm replacing the brakes on my Volvo. So here's the sound that I've been hearing. It just actually started the other day. It wasn't something that happened over time, but just bam, happened. And it was kind of disturbing. But here is that sound right now. Okay, and another indicator that I knew something was wrong was the amount of brake dust on my rim. I mean, look at this. That is a lot compared to that rim, my back rims. So yeah, that instantly told me in my mind there's something going on with this side. Let's go over the tools you're going to need to do this job. First, you're going to have a 55 Tbit. I use this, I don't guess you would consider this cheater bar, but it is a pretty long bar, but I use it because sometimes on the back side of this caliber, the bolts are going to be so hard to turn and grind up, and that's a loud airplane flying over, that you're going to need something that's going to, provide you some leverage. And also my hammer or mallet. I don't think I have my mallets. Oh, there it is. And sometimes they're even seized up so bad that you have to hammer that to even get them to break free. You also need a socket wrench, a flathead screwdriver, an impact or a tire changer, it doesn't matter, a 3/4 socket, a floor jack or a bottle jack or whatever jack you have in your garage, you're going to need a jack, and a jack stand. Let's get started. First step is to get your floor jack out. Make sure it is tight to where it can jack up a car. Put it together, slide it under the vehicle. Okay, now this is very important. Where you place this jack, you want it right here, right on this lip. Then start jacking it up. Okay, when you get it jacked up, you're going to slide the jack stand underneath for extra security. And then you're just going to let the jack down just a little bit. That's a little too hard. But you guys get the idea. Don't let the jack all the way down. Now time for the fun part. What you want to do, actually you should have broke these loose before you even got the tire off the ground, but I didn't do that, so we're just going to impact them off. And the other thing to notice with Volvos is the whole stud comes out. So you're going to eventually have to brace this tire or it's going to fall on top of you, may cause bodily harm. Last one's in there. Just had a hammer on it for a second. And if it's staying on there, but if it doesn't fall right off, give it a little hit, roll it away. Also, one important mention is whatever side you're working on, make sure you cut the wheel out. It allows you to get more room to get behind it, to get what you need to get done. Unfortunately, I did not do that, so I have to turn it now manually. To get behind it. Okay, so here are the caliber bolts right here. You're going to use the 55 Tbit for one here and one here And I believe there's one right there. So yeah, the T55 bit right in like that. So let's take the back half of the caliber off, and yeah. Alright, once you break it, you're going to have to switch to your socket wrench. Kind of get it to where you can just spin it out with your fingers. Okay, and one other little important tidbit that I should have said at the beginning of the video, but we've already gotten this far, is you're also going to need a Tbit Hw7, because you see that little cap right there? They are on the back side. Right there's one, and there's one with the cap still on it. So you got these bolts that I just pulled out, plus the ones in the middle right there. Like this. Should go right in like so. Now these bolts shouldn't be as hard as the ones on the outside of the caliber. I knew they were there, I just forgot to mention them. I'm so sorry. Another note with the bolts right there, that is as far as they go. They don't come all the way out, so don't pull them out. Just just loosen them up, and so you can knock the caliber apart. Okay, once you get those bolts out of the middle of the caliber, it should just pop right off. Maybe. I'll just tap it with the mallet. There it goes. Alright, now I was trying to avoid that, but this little, I don't even know what you would call it, arm, is a pain in the butt because it goes back on that, but you're going to have to pull each sides around. We'll get to that later. Here's your brake pads. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much pad left, if any. All right, let's see the back side. Let me get that out there for you. It is actually stuck to the sill. Are you kidding me? Wow, okay. Yeah, there is nothing left with that one. Oh, well, sorry I was running my mouth. You stick it inside the sill there. Okay, I see. I thought it was just so, like, beat up. It was just, like, suction cup to the sill. I was like, what? But no, it's supposed to. My bad. Alright. So, yeah, there is nothing left of the back side of the brake pads here. Let's get the new ones. Okay, so I have the new brake pad. This goes on the front side of the rotor. And wow, look at the difference. Okay, this was the same brake pad as this one. And look how wore down it is. That is crazy. I feel much safer with the new one on. And you have to get it just right and lined up like that. Now it's easy to tell front pad from back pad because the back ones have the bracket. That goes into the sill. And you know what? I'm such a bad teacher. Oh my goodness, I forgot. You need a C-clamp to compress the sill back into its chamber in order to even get the caliber over top of these new brakes, because look how thick that brake pad is compared to that. So you're going to need to create some space. So yeah, you're definitely going to have a C-clamp. So let's go on and put the back pad on. Like that. And like I said, before we put the caliber back together, we're going to need to compress that. Okay, let's go on and compress the C-clamp. And you're going to use this part of the C-clamp, the flat part, not the circle part, but the flat part. And you're going to go on the rim of the seal. So it's going to look like this. I don't know if you can see it from your angle. If I can get it on there. It's going to look like that, and you're going to tighten it on there. So I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like once you actually have it on the seal, you're going to slowly begin to crank it. Slowly. You don't want to bust it. You see it going in just a little bit. Alright, now I'm not going to bore you guys watching this. So I'm going to go on and tighten it. And you want it to be flush in order to get the caliber back over the new brakes. This has got to be flat. And honestly, when you're tightening it up, once it gets so far, it's not going to tighten anymore. So that'll give you kind of a clue on when to stop. But you don't want to keep on cranking on it because you can bust these seals. And that will cost a lot of money. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like once you actually have it on the seal. You're going to slowly begin to crank it. Slowly. You don't want to bust it. You see it going in just a little bit. Alright, now I'm not going to bore you guys watching this. So I'm going to go on and tighten it. And you want it to be flush in order to get the caliber back over the new brakes. This has got to be flat. And honestly, when you're tightening it up, once it gets so far, it's not going to tighten anymore. So that'll give you kind of a clue on when to stop. But you don't want to keep on cranking on it because you can bust these seals. And that will cost a lot of money. Okay, when you get done compressing the seal back, it should look like this. And also, when you go to line up your bolts, make sure you line the top one, you line the bracket up with the center of the seal, and you also line the bottom one up correctly, but a lot of times it's going to sit like this. And what you need to do is go to your bolts and make sure you push them all the way back out like that, because it's going to line up a lot better, and it's going to save you a lot of trouble. So I'm going to tighten this back down real quick, and we'll go from there. Okay, once you get your bolts tightened, and there's still a well, it's more in the fingertip gap, you're going to take your rubber mallet, and you're going to hit on the back side. And the gap's going to fill in. There you go. Now you should be able to take your caliper, just slide it right back on. And don't forget your 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts, which are these bolts right here, the star bit bolts, or T-bit, whatever you want to call them. But you're going to have 4. I know at the beginning of the video I said 3. It's 4. I'm sorry. And you're just going to make sure they're going to go right back in their home. You just got to start them a little bit. And yeah. Okay, once you get them in there, you're going to use your T55 bit. And you're going to just tighten them all up. Now, obviously, I'm not going to tighten all these up on camera. It would just take too long. So just go through and tighten all 4 of these bolts up as tight as you can get them. And we'll move on to the next step. Alright, once you have all your bolts back here tightened up, it's time for this bracket. Now, this bracket is going to give you all kinds of heck. I'm telling you right now. You got to align the little tip right here in this groove. And once you get it in there, it's definitely going to have 2 hands. But I'm just showing you guys a general idea. Once you get it in there, you're going to have to bend these arms around this bracket here. So it's going to look like that when you get done. And there was a lot of tension on this bracket because I've had it actually shoot across the garage when I was doing it on the other side. And like it'll put your eye out. It's crazy how much pressure is going to take to bend that back. So I'm going to do that now and try not to kill myself. And I'll get back with you. Okay, I got the bracket on this far, but you can see how much tension is on this, and it's not even in the middle yet. See if this is going to work. There it goes. It snapped right in. First try. That is awesome. That's what you want. And now you're ready to put the tire back on. And now you're all done. All you have to do is lower the jack. Sounded a lot more painful than it really was. But this jack's old and it creaks a lot. So yeah, that's how you change the brake pads out on a 2010 Volvo S60 T5. Guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, join the family. Hit that subscribe button. It takes 1 second. Turn my post notifications on. Until next time, peace. Oh, I forgot to show you. Look at that little... Yeah, I smashed my finger with the mallet. That's going to be a big blood blister tomorrow. But anyway, peace, guys.